Alrighty then, folks. Hello then, and welcome to a game. I was hoping for a little bit more fanfare, but apparently you just loaded it straight up. I guess this really is an arcade game. Welcome to Gundam vs. Zaft, or Federation vs. Zeon. God, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking Seed? Oh lord. Anyway, welcome to Federation vs. Zeon. This was the game before the awesome Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. Actually, in between this and Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam was actually AUG versus Titans, I believe it was called. Even though you did fight Axis as well, so it kind of didn't make sense. But yeah, that one was pretty good, but that's really hard to find, and honestly, I find it kind of boring. I do actually have a disc copy of it though, because I'm really lame and spend a lot of money on Gundam games. Oh, there's stuff. Oh, it's just score rankings, I don't care. Oh hey, I'm gonna get demonetized. This song's copyright. Oh well, it's fine. I don't care. Yeah, and then it got Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam, which is really good and really fun. But it's like 250 hours long or something like that. Not joking either. So we're gonna worry about that one later. For now, we're gonna play this one. We'll probably play some campaign mode, maybe some arcade. You'll find out how bad I am. I don't have anyone to play versus with me, but I didn't feel like playing SD Gundam because reasons. So we're playing this. Should be fun. I also should point out that I haven't really recorded. This is the second video I've tried recording in 7 to 8 months. So it should be fun. Yeah, we're gonna do campaign mode. Because arcade is basically kill some things, use any suit you want, but that sounds boring. So we have a choice between Federation and Zeon. Depending on how this goes, we might do both, but I think we'll start as Zeon just because I know more about their suits than I do the Federation. So what do we want to be named? Do we just want to go with Jason? Or do we want to go something else, like Greg? I usually go with Greg. I guess I can't name myself Penis anymore or I'll get in trouble. I wonder if I'll get in trouble for saying penis. Who knows?
Began moving its burgeoning population into gigantic orbiting space colonies.
Approximately 79 years.
Home for mankind, where people are born and raised and die. It is the year 0079 of the Universal Century. The cluster of colonies furthest from the Earth, Side 3, proclaimed itself the Principality of Zeon and launched a war of independence against the Earth Federation. Initial fighting lasted over 1 month, and half the human population was lost. People were horrified by the atrocities that had been committed in the name of independence.
Hey, it's a
8
Mew
months had passed
size.
since the rebellion began. They were at a stalemate. With half of the population dead, both the Federation and Zeon had lost most of their military forces, and innocent youths were left to fight the war. Unable to gain a decisive victory in its initial battle, the Principality of Zeon lowered mobile suits to Earth to take control over mining territories to secure the vital natural resources for a long war ahead. The Federation's counteroffensive against these Zeon strongholds is about to begin.
I kinda really want to dub over the Japanese voice just because, but I won't. We're playing the English version for a reason. Mainly, I don't own a Japanese copy of this game. Though I will one day, I just don't right now. Hey, we shouldn't know about the Federation mobile suits yet. We won't find out for like 2 months. We can go to the desert or we can go to Odessa. Apparently Odessa's glowing red, but we can't go there. Mobile suit deck? Oh, we have some Zaku 1s. And absolutely no accuracy or evade rate. We're gonna die. Oh, and we can go to like Aboaku, space outside of Aboaku. This really should be Solomon space, because Aboaku space should be like here. Then here's Solomon and Solomon space. And then what is that, side 2? Or side 5. Side 2 would be right here then, because they're on the same location, or rotation in Lagrange point. But this is side 5 in Texas Colony. This would be Luna 2, side 7, space, and this would be technically side 6. I guess, yeah, you would rotate. Usually side 6 is depicted as being around here, because that's also a Lagrange point, but whatever. We should probably all actually go and play the game for once. If you can't tell, I'm not really planning anything for this. I just kind of did it. So it should be fun. But we got here a Zaku 1. Oh, we get no choice, but we have here a Zaku 1. As you can tell by only the one shoulder, it's a non-combat variant of it. It looks to having a 120mm machine gun. You can tell that because the drum is on the top. That wasn't introduced till the Zaku 2. But then again, this is September, so for some reason we're just using a Zaku 1. A non-combat Zaku 1 too, so we're probably like the supply sergeant or something. And we're like, we want to be a hero. And it totally doesn't work out for us. This also looked kind of bad because I'm on software mode. I tried playing this on I tried playing Mobile Suit Gundam Journey to Jaburo on hardware mode, and it was having some issues, so I moved over to software mode and never moved it back. I probably should have, though. And if you'll notice, these Zakus are like navy blue and white. I don't know whose colors those would be. I guess Federation, technically? I wonder, do we have a Iron Hawk in this one, or do we punch people? Oh shit, we punch people. I really want to get close to this guy, but he has a Zaku bazooka. And if you're wondering, that's a 200... he hit me anyway. Fuck it, we're gonna go punch him. That's a 280mm Zaku bazooka. Boost forward, please. Thank you. Good job, but you're an asshole. It's a 280mm Zaku bazooka. It was originally designed to take out the Federation's Type 61 tanks, but they found out it was actually pretty useful against mobile suits as well. Mostly actually captured Zakus, weirdly enough. Though I guess that's not canon anymore, is it? So at least back in the day when this was kind of new, the Federation actually did use a lot of captured Zaku 2s and DOMs for a while because they couldn't make very many mobile suits. Eventually that was changed. Oh, we have crackers. Oh, okay, that's how you throw them. R1. That was eventually changed with Origins, because Origins made it so that the Battle of Jaburo happened before Odessa instead of after, so they actually had time to produce mobile suits. In the original Battle of Odessa, which I'm guessing we're about to go fight since Odessa's on the map, we did absolutely terrible, by the way, but that was mostly because I liked punching things. You'll notice that with games, but the original Battle of Odessa, they only had 30 mobile suits, 30 GMs in fact, technically 31 since they had the Gundam, and I believe some gun tanks were there as well, or gun cannons. So we got to destroy an enemy big tray, which the big tray is the Federation's main transport hub, or not transport hub, but command center and logistics hub. It's a giant hovercraft. I'm not exactly sure why they had them, but they had them. Hey, we get to select our mobile suits. Can we go with bazookas? I'm not sure. I don't think we can, but we should be. These are giant, like, metal boxes. We really should be using Zaku bazookas, but we aren't. Hey, we're fighting Type 61 tanks. These are Type 61 tanks. They're the mainstay of the Federation Army for a long time. Precisely 9 months. They are, however, only useful in mass and can barely do any damage to a Zaku. Of course, this game doesn't really play that too much. Most of the destruction of Zakus by the Federation in the early parts of the war was done by Saberfish, even though they're also completely useless. And flying manta bombers. They're these like orange bomber things you see for like one episode in the original series. And that's a big tray. I know, right? How can you miss that thing? No, we're doing a lot of damage to it. Oh, and we're completely out of ammo. Well... Die! 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 That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Yeah, so the Federation ended up using a bunch of captured mobile suits, including some DOMs, weirdly, because those were actually produced before Odessa in some limited way, but they weren't supplied to people. Hey, we received the prototype Zaku 2. So I'm assuming that was before May, but Zeon didn't descend to the planet till May. So I don't know how we got a prototype. If you watched MS Igloo, you'll know that the Zaku 2 is actually used at the Battle of Loam, which the Battle of Loam was before we descended on the planet, or Zeon descended on the planet. Oh, wait, we have two separate Zaku 1s and then a Zaku 2, which looks like that one's damaged a little bit because I'm stupid and like punching things. Oh, yeah, I want to control that one and you can use that one. Cool. Hey, it's the traditional pose. This looks to be a Magellan attack carrier. This was generally used as a command ship. They're gun ships. So they didn't have any chance to have any mobile suit capability, mainly due to the cargo bays being completely internal. The Salamis, on the other hand, had them on the, I believe, the dorsal side, so like the underside where that red fin is where their cargo bays were. So they were able to modify them to carry mobile suits. However, they weren't able to put in a catapult or anything, so they would literally magnetically lock them to the hull. This was eventually changed with the Salamis Kai, which had one catapult. Yeah, this is very much how early battles in the war went. Oh. Except for, you know, space being an infinite frontier is slightly too big for me. I also got shot by that guy, but didn't, like, react to it at all. No. It's really annoying. But you can't really tell, but I believe we're in a Zaku 2C right now, because we don't have any of the extra Verners. Eventually the Zaku 2F model would be created, which was a 9% increase on the Zaku 2C's performance. However, it was something like 20% more expensive to produce, because they had to manually rebuild a lot of the parts, because Zeon had this thing where they wouldn't use compatible parts. Only the Federation thought that was a good idea. Oh. Okay. We didn't do as bad in that one. Cool. I wish we would have had that a long time ago. We really should have. Hey, we get to fight the Gundam. So Project V was the Federation's idea to build mobile suits based off a Zaku captured by Yuko Jima, who's the pilot of the Blue Destiny. That of course changed because in Origins they had gun tanks and gun cannons like way before the war, so I'm not sure what's on with that, but basically this guy named Tem Ray, who's Amuro Ray's father, was like, hey, I had this really good idea for mobile suits. Batteries. And somehow built beam rifles out of batteries, which Zeon never considered, though they do have them. So anyway, yeah, he decided to produce some mobile suits, but the only downside is they started building it at the Kilimanjaro base in Africa, but I believe it was either May or June that base fell to Zeon, so they had to go somewhere else. So they went as deep into Federation territory as they could get, and that dude threw it at me, or that Zaku 1 threw that cracker at me, which was the colony of Side 6, or Side 7. As I pointed out earlier in the game, it's behind Luna 2, which was a massive Federation stronghold, and the only thing Zeon couldn't crack. Not sure why, because Char did it with, like, what, 3 mobile suits? But whatever. So they brought it to Side 7, except for Char was on a deep scouting mission at the time and decided to investigate the colony because new type powers. And really, I was hoping we'd fight a Gundam. That's kind of boring. Oh well. I didn't dodge at all. That's great. None of these have the bazooka? Yeah, I'm gonna play with the bazooka, I don't care. Sure. I don't remember what I was talking about before this, but oh well, it wasn't that important, was it? Watch, I'll view this in post and be like, oh shit, I should probably explain that, and then completely forget about it. Come on. Hey, you can even shoulder tackle with this one. That's cool.
Amazing! It has 5 times more energy.
It has batteries. I was about to say, I really shouldn't be getting into a fist fight with a Gundam. So yeah, this bloke Temray decides to move. Well, somebody in the Federation decides to move them to Side 7, which was so deep into their territory they. Oh, we can't redo that map. Oh, all right. That's cool. Oh, cool. We get a Gouf in this one, or a Gouf, depending on what you want me to call it. But yeah, so Char decides to investigate Side 7 and discovers the Gundam, which begins the whole chronicles of Mobile Suit Gundam. So this here is the MS-07 Gouf. Originally it was a modification of the Zaku 2 to better work on the planet. However, well, while it was sort of adopted, it didn't really get mainstay production, but it did get a lot produced. This was the one we know the best about it is from Rumble Rawl, who was in the original series. But it has an electric whip, which as soon as he stands up, I'll try to show you. Which is supposed to electrocute people, but in this one blows it up. I think it's 50mm machine gun mounted in the wrist, and the ability to use all the same equipment as the Zaku 2. Some were eventually built that were just straight Goufs, but a lot of them were upgraded Zaku 2s originally. And even some Zaku 1s, which they became the high evasion type Goufs. It's really interesting, but they weren't very well used, and I don't know why they weren't, because, yeah, theoretically, they could have had some good mobile suits for very cheap, but they didn't. That was from a side story somewhere. But hey, the Federation's using Zaku 2s in this one as well. That's cool. One of my favorite ways on how the Federation ended up capturing Zaku 2s was they would get people with really fucking huge sniper rifles and just have them snipe the pilots when a group of Federation soldiers raided their camp. I mean, like, I'm not kidding about that either. It's great. It's just like, you know, how do we get rid of these issues of enemies having giant death machines and we don't? Yeah, let's just kill the people who know how to pilot them, so they don't know who to pilot and they surrender. Yeah, but anyway, so they kept killing people like that, and they would capture the mobile suits. And I believe it was 18 were eventually used by Francisco's captured mobile suit battalion in MS Igloo 2. But yeah, they were mostly Zaku J's and Zaku F's, though. That is kind of lore-breaking, though, because we know when they were developing the Gundam, they're actually having a lot of issues because they didn't have working Zakus around. They only had one that was mostly working. So they had to build a bunch of their own parts. Yeah, one of the cool things about the Gouf is it was the first to employ a non-axe-shaped weapon, being the heat sword. Eventually Zaku's and Zaku 2s would get to use them, but... Oh, hey, we lost that Zaku that got destroyed. That's pretty cool. We don't want to do that again. Oh, and we get to choose which weapon to equip. Awesome. As you can tell, I've never actually played this before. I've just played a lot of Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. Oh, I probably shouldn't have jumped in the water, but I did. Oh, hey, ground GMs. So these are RX-78 Gs, or ground GMs, as I call them. I don't believe they're actually called ground GMs officially, but these were used with spare parts and prototype parts for the GM, and even some Gundam parts. You can mix and match them, you see, because the Federation thought, maybe we should have compatible parts so we don't have to build, like, 2,000 different models worth of parts. But only, I believe, 34 of these were created in the 1 Year War. And most were actually employed all the way up until Unicorn times. Though, at the time, war ended after CCA, for the most part, till Hathaway's Rebellion. But I don't think we'll actually talk about this in this series, at least. Or at least this video. But yeah, they were employed for a very long time, and they could even be upgraded as far as, like, GM3s, which were produced during Zeta era. Like, you could just straight up put the parts into the ground GM and it would work just fine. And, hey, a ground Gundam. So these are mobile suits built using a lot of the spare parts from the Gundam. So, like, empty chest cavities and stuff from the Gundam would be modified a little bit to work with different mobile suits. And one of these was the ground Gundam. So you get stuff like MS-08. Though if this is anything like Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam, the MS-08 will be completely ignored even though this unit is in the game. But yeah, you'll notice that they had a, I think it's 360mm long rifle, which is one of the better weapons for the Federation. It also has a 90mm machine gun, a beam saber, and that, like, claw shield, which it can stick into people and rip out mobile suit internals, which is pretty cool. Yay. And we got a message from Kycelia, because we didn't shoot her in the face in this one.
Kycelia. Rather good work. I will remember it.
And that's when you try to directly translate some Japanese and don't really understand what it means. Let's see. We have to protect a Gao. We have to fight some random Medias, which are those transport planes from Zeonic Front, if you've ever seen that. Oh, hey, we get to use a Zock in this one, or a Zegok in this one. I wish we got to use a Zock. I like the Zock. Oh, and we get to use the GOG in this one. Let's do this one first, because I like the GOG. Oh. Never mind. We don't get to actually control it, we just get to fight with it. That's no fun. We're gonna use the Zegok. So this was the one of Zeon's more successful underwater prototypes. It would eventually get replaced because they're way too expensive to produce. But it has an internal beam gun, or two internal beam guns, I should say, and iron claws to serve as melee weapons. It also has a head-mounted, I believe, missile launcher. But the only problem is, yeah, in some games they home, but in lore it could only be shot vertically for some reason. So the way Zeon got around the not having enough energy due to the reactor issue with the Zegok is it has a completely secondary reactor in its head. That's why it's all bulbous-y. And that reactor was literally just for the arms, or for the lasers in the arms. Which, I forget which manga, but in one of them we see that you can actually divert the energy from the secondary reactor back into the Zaku. Or, not in the Zaku, into the main body of the Zegok. But I don't know how canon that is. I believe it was Federation Hooligans when we found that out, but I could be wrong. It has been a while since I've read those. If you don't know, if We Are Federation Hooligans is one of the weirder mangas for Gundam. It's kind of hard to explain what it is. But it's pretty good if you read it. I wouldn't suggest Katana, though, which is its sequel. Katana has a lot of cool mobile suits in it, but story-wise, it's all over the place. Meh. But you know what, guys? This was almost 30 minutes, so Oh, we got a GOG. Oh, so we only got to do one of those? That's bull. And what is this? Telecommand Desert. Let's do the Himalayas, why not? We're gonna use the Zaku 2 for this one, though. Yeah, I only want the machine gun, and we'll give our ally the Zaku 2, or Zaku 1 with the bazooka. Because all we gotta do is protect a Gao, so all we gotta do is be distracting. But I think this will be the last stage I do. Maybe I'll do another episode of this. I kind of like just talking about random Gundam stuff since I haven't really dealt with it in a couple of months. All I've really been talking about for the past few months is exchange servers. Those get boring fast. Oh. I like how my start attack was literally like a drop kick. I was hoping for like a boost forward slash or something, but nah, drop kick's good too. So theoretically, even though I got hit, if I just like dodge everyone else's shots, I should still be marked well. I don't think that's the case because I think the fact that I actually got hit is the issue, but I don't know, you can dream, right? Goddamn enemy GM's actually moving. Oh, hey. So if you see that ground Gundam actually has a 5-barreled missile launcher, which was basically the simple premise of, we need more firepower. Let's just mount Salamis missile tubes on a weapon. You know those gray ships we fought earlier? Yeah, those. They're just like, yeah, you know, let's mount them on a mobile suit. It'll be fine. Though the cool part about that means is they only have to produce one missile for all of their both anti-air units. And these guys can use, like, a Medea's built-in missile launchers. Though, I guess Medea's don't actually have built-in missile launchers. But, like, maybe ground-based missile launchers, missiles as ammunition as well. I did really bad on that one, but meh. Oh, hey, we got the Magella attack cannon. Which, we haven't seen it in this game, but the Magella tank is basically a tank that had a jet built into it, so it could escape if it wanted to. Also been completely ignoring space, because why not? Didn't we have the choice to do Odessa? Why are we following the Trojan horse? Anyway. But yeah, folks, that'll be that. If you liked the episode, you should like. If not, it's cool. I don't really care. But tell me if you want me to do some more of this or not. That's cool too. I have fun just talking about random bullshit. Real quick, I just want to check if there's anything to do with those operation points. Nope. Okay. Anyway, folks, good night.